right? Well, those of you who watch Man Caves know that Goose is also a pain in the ass. I mean, butt. I'm sorry. Watch my French. Goose is a great guy. If you have a man cave, you need a caveman, and that's why we got Goose. But Goose is reckless. He's like a bull in a china shop, and we try to keep away from tools. So I'm going to tell you this story that I don't normally tell, only big crowds. But we DIY. I want to do a little. I want to tell you this first. DIY takes safety very seriously, as do I. We're very safe on set. We take it very seriously. We always preach that. But accidents do happen. Okay, you can't always avoid the accident. So, did anybody see the Rainn Wilson episode where we did Rains? You saw that in The Office? We built Rainn from The Office in Office, from the ground up. So we're in LA, and we're doing the opening scene where I'm showing Rainn the plan. The problem was Goose was in there, and he had a framing gun in his hand. Now the framing gun, those of you who use framing guns, anybody framing gun? All right, you know when you got your trigger, your finger on the trigger and it sets a rapid fire, anything it hits, it's going off. You hope it's not you, but anything it hits is going to go off. Unfortunately, it was me. So I'm explaining the plan, and Goose and Rainn are goofing around. They're not listening, right, as usual. And they start to leave. And I'm like, guys, I'm not done. Come back, come back. So as Goose is turning, I'm turning at the same time. The gun comes up and hits my hand. And I hear the gasp in the crowd. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I just heard the gun go off, but I didn't know what it hit because, you know, your body doesn't, sometimes it doesn't register right away. That you get hit. I felt a brush, but I didn't know that I was actually hit. So just as I said, Goose, what did you hit? I realized my thumb's not moving, right? Why isn't my thumb moving? So I looked down and I saw the head of the nail right here, and the point of it's coming out right here. I know, gross, right? It's cool though, isn't it? So anyway, so the camera's here, right? Because the camera's always on. They get everything. Camera's here. I'm here. Goose and Rainn are right here. And I'm really calm, which I was surprised. I'm really calm, and I look at it, and all I can say is, that's not good. That's not good. And I turn and walk away. And as I walk away, I pull the nail out. So I don't suggest you do that. Don't ever pull the nail out. It's probably not a good idea, which it wasn't. But your first instinct is to pull the nail out. So the best part of this whole thing, because I'm getting to the funny part, because I can laugh now because, as you can see, I'm fun. But Goose was standing with the gun in his hand, and Rainn Wilson was basically white. Like, he's ready to pass out, literally, right? Goose, however, you got to remember, Goose played how many years in the NFL? You know, he probably played with guys that have broken bones. He probably saw all kinds of injuries. So, but what he does is, remember the movie Caddyshack? Right, where Bill Murray blows up the golf course, and at the end he just kind of nonchalantly puts it down and just kind of sneaks away. Goose, the best part is Goose has the framing gun, he puts it down, okay, and he does one of these. over towards Rainn Wilson, and he follows me out. I'm thinking, oh my God. So all I can think about is getting to the emergency room, because I didn't know how bad it was. So we go to the emergency room. Who's been in the emergency room lately? Anybody? Yeah, how bad is that, right? You're usually going to wait, you know, if you're lucky, you'll get in an hour. If not, you're waiting like 3 hours. So I'm standing there with my hand in a cake bowl of ice, right? And I look at my producer, I'm like, we got to go somewhere else. So we go to urgent care. I get in to see the orthopedic surgeon, and he's looking at the x-ray, and he's laughing. And he goes, you know how lucky you are? I'm like, I don't think I'm lucky. How am I lucky? And it missed everything. It hit the thumb bone and went up and skimmed across everything. So I had a slight fracture, no big deal, right? Well, I mean, it was a big deal, but... And he asked me who likes taking pain medication? Anybody? You like avoiding pain medication? Yeah, one guy. I like it. He asked me if I wanted pain medication. I'm like, no, I don't need any pain medication. I'm good. But at 3 o'clock in the morning when I woke up, I'm thinking, why didn't I take the pain medication? Right? So I end up going back to work, right? Because I'm that kind of host. You know what I mean? I'm going to go back to work. My hand's all bandaged up. I walk past Goose's car. He's in the car with his manager. His manager's on set, right? So I'm thinking, I'm going to mess with him. As I'm walking by, I'm holding my hand like this, and Goose goes, what's the problem? How bad is it? You know, like he doesn't, you know. I'm like, Goose, it's not good, man. 3 surgeries, 1 to repair the thumb, 1 to repair the tendons, and I got to repair all my fingers. They're all smashed. And he looks at me, he just looks at me, and his manager his head hits the steering wheel. His manager's freaking out. But Goose is like, you'll be fine. You can't get sympathy from a guy like Goose. I tried. It doesn't work. But that was the most cooperative Goose has ever been on set since the show started. Because when I left, he's like, what can I do? Can I do anything? Can I do anything? What can I do? Can I build something? Because he's never like that. He's usually going to show up and he's going to scream at somebody, then he's going to eat something, then he's going to go take a nap. That's his role. I accept it. He gets all the glory. I do all the work. It's all good. I'm fine with it. But that's Man Caves in a nutshell. But we really enjoy